Bam, we are live on Kick, Rumble, and YouTube. How you doing? Good morning, guys. It is 4:15 in the Big 2-6. You are an attentive audience. I, of course, am Hat and Beard, and this, of course, well, it's the Hat and Beard Show. We got all kinds of news to cover for you guys today. Although it's the off season, the NFL machine never stops. We, of course, have the story we've been kind of watching. Going to go ahead and fan the flames around the Diana Rossini. Hey! If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck. Oh! It's another word that rhymes with duck and has the letters S, L, U, and a T in it. You know what I'm saying? The Athletic cover over her photos with Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel. You guys know this. We talked about it last week. And it's just kind of following a predetermined, pretty predictable path. And there's a little bit of information that we've seen. I tweeted about it, of course. Follow me on Twitter. A little bit of prophetic posting that I got going on, what we can project to see out of Diana Rossini as this story just collapses around her. And she's proven to be exactly what we thought she was. Then shifting gears, we're going to kick on over to The Guardian. Former Alabama star allegedly impersonated NFL's Michael Penix, David Njoku, and Xavier McKinney in a $20 million loan scam. Yeah. Oh boy went so far as to wear costumes. Yo, we will look into this. I seen it and I went, are you... Oh, the script writers are getting really wild with it now, guys. Then we're going to talk a little 3-1-3 action here for the Detroit Lions. NFL analyst advises Jahmyr Gibbs to hold out. Gibbs and the Lions are approaching the May 1st fifth-year option deadline. Okay, now there is a little bit that goes into this. It's not just about Jahmyr Gibbs. There is market play and manipulation that's going on over there. We're a little bit of games, little Brad Holmesian games. We'll discuss what SI on Detroit Vito Chirico has for us. Then we're going to kick it over to our guy Jeremy Risden over at the pod. He's going to talk about we got the NFL Draft, Detroit Lions Top 30 Visit Tracker. Just keeping an eye on that. One name that has been kind of linked to the Lions this entire process keeps popping up. I hope we wait until 50. How's that? That's all I'm going to say. We'll talk about that. And then, you guys know, I might as well. Dude, at what point will one of you is the slipper, okay? One of you's the slipper. I know it. And when are you just going to hire me to come work for you, dude? Let's go. Detroit Lions mailbag. If the Lions draft this guy in the first, that is your nightmare scenario. Plus, we answer who the Lions might trade up for and what they'd have to give up. And is Brad Holmes blowing smoke right now? This article, I don't know, man. Am I like way out ahead of the curve? Do we talk about things like a day in advance before it pops off with the rest of the media sphere? Or is one of you guys actually like part of the media machine cranking it all out for all of us? But we'll discuss all of that and more. Of course, if you want to engage with the rest of the chicanery going on over at YouTube in the live chat, you're going to subscribe to the channel there to be a member of the Mad Hatter Nation. You're going to want to subscribe to over at Rumble. Rumble's kicking ass and taking names down yonder. Trying to get that number up to the big 50 of subscribers over on, or followers. I think it's followers on Rumble. I'm so sorry. Trying to get up to 50. So if you want to go ahead and hit that for me, share that content around. Hit the like button, Rumble. If we could get you guys to hit the like button, a little bit more engagement out of you cats would be pretty awesome. As well as Kick. I know you're down there, Kick. But guys, on all platforms, share this around. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get there. We are what, 8 days? 8 days away from the NFL draft. Trying to get that to hit the 900 on YouTube by the time of the draft. It's probably not going to happen. Trying to get the old 50, but that's probably not going to happen. Going to temper our expectations. Oh, you know what I'm saying. But share this around. Hit the like button, guys. Do all the things and stuff and things. It's a Wednesday. We'll be taking your chats as the show goes on, so I'm going to kick it over to Jock and get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
Hell yeah, guys. We got quite a few over there on YouTube. If you want to hit the like button, appreciate it. Brandy sharing the Rumble and the Kick link. That's what's up. Brent, I want to say, man, gosh, man, I swear, do we just like sit here and pontificate over the same thing all day long, bro? I was thinking about Hurt Foot Guy, Fat Braylon Edwards, a.k.a. Akeem Mezdor. I was like, it just keeps trending that way in my thought process. You know what I mean? We'll discuss as we get to the Mike Payton article. But man, I feel that your statement there, Hurt Foot Guy, gives us the most of any draft pick year one. Yeah, dude, I have a hard time arguing against that. When you look at and you say all of the negatives about Akeem Mezdor outside of the hurt foot, which even that alone lends itself to Brad Holmes, does it not, right? So when you look at the body of work of Fat Braylon Edwards, he fits that build that we want out of the defensive end. You're also getting a second contract aged player for a rookie scale contract. Now, to that point, but will he be good for the whole contract? At this point, you got to ask yourself, are we willing to invest a first-round pick, the number 17th overall, in a 4-year player, period? 4 years. You're getting him for 4 good years, right? A player with an injury history to a very crucial point of the body, the foot, is not something you want to fuck around with. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the butthole. You don't really want to mess around with it too much. And are you comfortable? Because yes, like you say, gives us the most out of any player year one. So we're trying to win now. It's a toss-up, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's a hell of a position to be in, dude. It's not something that I would want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that I get to sit here and sit upon my high horse with the unbelievable power of hindsight and cast all the judgment upon Brad Holmes after the fact. You know what I'm saying? I do not envy him being in this position. Today is April 15th. Deadline for clubs to time, test, visit interviews, conduct physical exams for draft-eligible players. Hell yeah, Brandy. That's what's up, dude. Appreciate that. If there's any DNs, if there's no DNs first, why we draft a DN early if there are no DNs. Oh, I see what you're saying. Based on, yeah, Jack, I think what you're saying ties into the Brad, what you're talking about with what Holmes said. We'll talk about that. That all comes up, guys. That all comes up. Sometimes you do mess with the butthole. That's true, Derek. That's true. That's true. That's fair. That's fair. That's what I'm saying. Just say F those picks and move up for Reese. Well, Sleepy, man, you guys kind of like to, I think you guys read the articles that we're about to go over already. Jack, I don't know if there's any number 1 DNs, but I did like what Brad said, where it's more, if you're not in love with anybody in your spot, you know what I'm saying? Now, I have seen a lot of, people are like, well, why doesn't Brad Holmes trade up? Well, by all rumors, I have seen that we did try to go and trade up to get a guy like a Will Anderson Jr. We did try last year to go after Shamar Stewart. The problem is people don't like us, man. People don't like Dan and Brad, dude, so they don't want to trade us. We could get away with it years 1 and 2 and 3 when everyone's like, oh, it's the Lions, it's just the retarded little brother. But it's like, no, dude, we weren't retarded, we just needed some fucking glasses, bro. Now I can read, bitch. You know what I'm saying, dude? Not one single player in this draft is worth a trade up. None? Damn, not none, dude? None? I don't know, man. I don't know. I was thinking about making a short a little, because I used to fuck around with the shorts pretty hardcore. I used to make a lot of shorts. They used to be a lot of fun. I was thinking of doing a short where it's the scene of why am I drawing a name on Joe Pesci? Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas, where it's Joe Pesci's character in Goodfellas when he gets whacked at the end, well, not the end, but the back third of the movie. When he gets whacked, and having that being Fernando Mendoza walking into the Raiders at number 1. Like Fernando Mendoza walking into the Raiders organization. Whap! You know what I'm saying? Arvell Reese is a major boom or bust project player, not worth trading up for. Fair enough, dude. I don't know enough about Reese, man. Just because, like, those top-end guys, I didn't think we... And Reese kind of... Am I getting the same vibe that Reese is, like, one of them kind of, like I think this draft has a lot of good athletes. Does that make sense? But, like, you're just, like, rock solid superstar. This is the guy. And outside of like I mean, even Vega kind of has some pulling issues, but I think Vega would be kind of about your best, like, all around kind of prototypical. Yeah, you got, dude, and that's fair, man. You guys can go ahead and disagree all you want. What offense team would Brad move up for? Really, none, Derek. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any offensive tackles. When you look at the body of the offensive tackle class, there are enough holes to poke in the top. There's enough holes to poke in the middle that you can kind of just sit and see who falls to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me phrase it like this, guys. I was kind of thinking about this, and to Brent Supreme's point, Balake Miller, right, had one good year, right? Balake Miller has been mocked in the first round, right? Max Finkel-Einhorn's been mocked in the second round a lot. We can see a world where Finkel-Einhorn and Monroe Freeling and the prototypical player, the build, people get fascinated with that. They are overvalued, move into the first round, and the Lions sitting there, don't go tackle in the first round because nobody really moves the needle for Brad Holmes. But say Balake Miller slides to 40. Do you see a world where Brad could get a little aggressive with the second? Say you want to go from 40 to 50, throw in a fourth rounder, maybe even a future sixth rounder. Would you feel comfortable with us grabbing like a Balake Miller somewhere in the second round? Even though, yes, he only has the 1 year, but it's not a first round investment. I think that not worth the first round, but totally worth the second round pick in a guy like a Balake Miller. How do we feel about that? Moving back, acquiring a third, and getting our tackle at 23 makes the most sense. Yeah, Derek, I agree. We did that in the mock draft on Monday. The problem is finding a dancing partner. This is the most devoid of blue chip talent in the draft I've seen. 0 players we're selling the future for. There you go, dude. There you go. So Brent, I guess to that comment point, would you feel it again? Now I know. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. In this hypothetical that I'm laying out for us, say we're in the second round and Balake Miller somehow there, right around the 40 to 50. Would you be okay with moving up, say, 5 spots with like a fourth or a fifth rounder to go after a guy like a Blake Miller, or are you comfortable with like waiting for him to see if he falls to 50? And if he does fall to 50, would you be okay taking him? You know what I'm saying? There's no blue chip DN, no blue chip tackle, no blue chip wide receiver or D tackle. Damn, dude. Damn. So all these draft picks will be bust. I mean, to Tampa's fan or Tampa Lions fans' point, I get what you're saying, dude. Brent, you are being a little bit the sky is falling, dude. Like a little bit. I mean, there's got like we have to like have like we got to be happy with somebody. You know what I mean? Like I get what you're saying though, in that like it's not worth it, because I'm with you, dude. Like I understand the sentiment in wanting to trade up for like a David Bailey or a Sonny Styles. I get the headspace that people are in because it feels really good. But the reality is that player is not worth the overall investment to damage your franchise moving forward. Similar to how we talk about how expanding the trade capital for first-round picks into the fourth and fifth year is not worth it because you're substantially crippling your franchise for so long, for so far into the future, that it's just not worth that investment. You know what I'm saying? Looking at roster. Damn, Raw, appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much, dude. That's super duper. What's up, man? Thank you so much for the super. I'm trying to figure out how to pin this, man. Hang on one second, bud. Whoops. Damn it. Yo, I'm such a Luddite, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat, Raw. Looking at roster, free agents added, and Brad Holmes' past drafts, current mocks, I think the Texans make the perfect trade partner for us moving back to 28. Allen or Hill to pair with Jack Campbell while adding a second or a third. I like. Okay, I could totally be comfortable with moving back to 28, and there is already an established line of trade communication with the Texans. So, viability? Yeah, I could see it happening. The only pushback I will give to you on this is I haven't traded back to a 28 to give you like an actual like breakdown as to how I've done a mock. You know what I'm saying? But surface looking down, yeah, I could see that. The thing though that comes into it is does the Texans, when you say the Texans make the perfect trade partner, is that for us or is that mutually beneficial? You know what I'm saying? Because the Texans are going to want to have to, there's going to be somebody that they want to go after. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I haven't really looked at the Texans, needs, or even really their draft scenario to see what would they be going after in this? You know what I'm saying? But I like your space. Here's a perfect. There's Gav with that. Dude, I knew as soon as Gav came in the chat, I was like, Anthony Hill Jr., Freeling Vega, Kyle Louise, Uar Bernard, Devin Eastern, Thaddeus Dixon, Marlon Klein, Jaden Kennedy. The more we've been mocking this Jaden Kennedy, I kind of like this guy. Our prototypes, Reese and Bailey are not prototypes. Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure. Yeah, and that's the thing with like Bailey is I like David Bailey, but he doesn't do everything that I need him to be, he doesn't do everything I need him to do to be that high of a pick. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, I like the pedigree, but he doesn't do it all that I need him to do. David Bailey might not fit with criteria you're talking about, but he's one hell of a ball player. That's fair. Thank you, Mr. Detroit City. I appreciate it, brother. It's good to see you, man. I know you're down there just grinding it out, dude. Hopefully, man, remember, guys, next Thursday night, we will be doing a live show, pre-draft live show, about an hour and a half before the draft. We'll finalize the information next week on when we're going to go live, but I hope to see all you guys there, man. Hopefully, you guys that can't make it to the normal live show during the week and the morning, hopefully you guys can come hang out at night, man. I'm hoping to see you there, Mr. Detroit City, bro. I've been thinking about you, man. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. There's a lot of tier 2 players, but very few blue chips. There you go, Jack. Fair enough. Texans need OT. Oh, absolutely need. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and at that 17 spot, Raw, you could be looking at, because what we've talked about it quite a bit, Raw, about how the Browns are going to be kind of the linchpin to see how the tackles slide. So depending on kind of how they go at 6 or any trades that happen before that, if there is still a chunk of the tackle class right there at 17, and Brad's going, hey, you know what, dude? I like all of these guys, but I'm not in love with all of these guys. And you're getting a call from H-Town, you know what I'm saying? You pick up the phone and you're like, what it do? You know what I'm saying? And Bun B's on the other line. He's like, hey, I want to give you a third and swap first. Yeah, I think we I am very high on the trade back, always am, especially after this last mock we did, guys. Getting back into that third round, man, this is why I hate to see Brad trade out them third rounders, dude. It's kind of a sweet money round, dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's why I see what you're saying with the Texans, especially that tackle spot, dude. You know, if there's someone they're really high on, dude, yeah, that's a good dancing partner. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. What's up, Kane? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, bro. Crusader Kane, yo. You guys go follow him on Twitter. He's a good follow. Bailey gets washed out in the run game, has short arms, therefore is not blue chip. Gotcha. And, he just looks a little undersized, if I'm being honest. Bailey just looks a little undersized. Just the eye check. You know what I mean? Just eye test. He looks a little undersized, but 2060 with longer arms and taller, he'd be a blue chip, but he isn't. Gotcha. So, all right, for blue chip, awesome. Tape plus perfect measurables equals blue chip. Fair enough, for sure. All right, guys. So, that's the first 15 minutes of the show. Diana Rossini, guys, real quick. We're not gonna read it all. You guys know the dealio. But here's what stuck out to me. So, in her letter of resignation, where is it? Okay, quote. This is from Diana Rossini, which she posted this on Twitter and then turned the comments off. I did retweet this. Rather than allowing this to continue, I have decided to step aside now before my current contract expires on June 30th. Really? Ooh. Huh. So your contract expires at the end of the summer. However, let's connect these dots, guys. We know that the media sphere is shifting into podcasts, right? What's that old saying about publicity? All publicity is good publicity. Now, if I was Diana Rossini and I was a money-grubbing whore, and I wanted to possibly set myself up for a nice little catapult into, say, my own independent, i.e. Tucker Carlson, i.e. Megyn Kelly, would it not play perfectly for Diana Rossini to, say, a few months before her contract expires, to have a big old media kerfluffle? Let's be honest. They weren't outright banging out there, at least nothing that we've seen. Now, it is a pretty evident story that they're fooling around, especially with what's going on. But you guys know how the media machine works. This will all go away very, very quietly, very, very quickly. Everybody will forget it. And then, right about the time that the NFL preseason kicks off, guess who will buy a bunch of ads on Google AdSense? Guess who will have her new independent podcast platform free from all of the buzz, spin, bringing you all of the hard-hitting facts that you know me for? Diana Rossini's own podcast will be launched, and this is absolutely them just setting the stage and building a media profile around her prior to the launch of her own podcast. I'm telling you guys right now, that's what's going to happen. This is all to launch it, dude. This is all just to launch her podcast, bro. 100%. Sell it for cash, people. Yeah, dude, exactly, dude. She's a whore, dude. She's a money-grubbing whore, dude. We know nothing until they play, but I'll bet you there are some future all-pros in this draft. Possibly. I don't give a player blue chip status unless they are both amazing prototype size, length, speed. Ziggy Ansah had the measurables, but not the tape to be a blue chip, for example. Oh, there you go. Okay, there you go. Bro. Tampa. There you go, bro. That Jameel Hill, dude. I actually seen someone was saying that those two actually are going to launch a podcast together. That it's going to be Jameel Hill and Diana Rossini. Because, dude, and I'll take it even a step farther, guys. I'll take it even a step farther, and I know that it sounds like I'm pandering to you guys because I bring it up all the time. Watch. She's gonna do the Candace Owens thing. She's gonna do the Candace Owens thing. She's gonna talk. She'll be out, and I don't mean she's gonna lose her mind. She's already crazy. You can see it in the eyes. Okay. Diana Rossini will have her little podcast stage. It will look somewhere between Call Her Daddy and the OG, like the original comment section, right? With Brett Cooper. Okay. It'll look the stage will look somewhere between that because she'll have guests, so she'll need room like on Call Her Daddy. And it'll be female coded. Light colors, pastels, perfect lighting, Stanley cups, a lot of, we don't know now, but we know. It'll be very female coded. That's what they're trying to do. Diana Rossini. Oh my gosh, I'm connecting all these dots, guys. I called it here first. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys. Get on this freight train before it takes off into the stratosphere. Yes, we're taking trains into the stratosphere, guys. Don't ask me how. Just buckle up, baby, because we're about to get after it, Buttercup. Diana Rossini is going to be the new NFL's version of feminizing as they fade away. They were too heavy-handed with Taylor Swift and the Swifties. It was too gross. It was too liberal-coded. This will be their underhanded, female-coded version to draw in female viewership and have a, quote, female section carved out of the media sphere for women, about women in the NFL. It'll be their whole thing, dude. Watch. Mark it, dude. Mark it. Mark it now. Person cares what she does, but she can't stop her greediness. 100%, Mom. 100%. Jamel is racist. 100%, Mr. Detroit City. Dude, she is, bro. She is, dude. Jamil Hill is a very flat-out racist bitch, dude. Brian Branch had blue chip tape, but not the measurables, which is why he fell to the second round, dude. Like you said, he was too small, bro. The player looks. I think the average person cares. If a player doesn't look the part, then they aren't blue chips. Brandy, you want to watch her? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yo, Brandy, my mom, Jody, I don't know if you're still hanging out once in a while, but sometimes there is some female viewership. You guys all concerned about having a female take on the NFL? Because, and this is what I don't understand. Like, if you guys, like, if you really want to look at it, the whole, like, we have to have women to talk to women thing on sports is a real backhanded thing, dude. Like, what they're telling you is you're not smart enough to listen to men talk. We need to have a woman explain it to you in female coding with female voice, a little bit of vocal fry. You know what I'm saying? Delivered in a way that women can absorb it. Because what they're telling you is that you're not smart enough to listen to how the men talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least that's how I'd interpret it, dude. Boo! Yo, is that a Blitz Speaks? What's up, Blitz? Good to see you, man. Yeah, dude. Remember when Aaron Andrews got famous? Yeah, dude. Unfortunately, her keyhole was open with a skeleton key, and everybody seemed to have one. But not so much measurables. He's 6'1". Yeah, hell yeah. Walt Disney's rolling his grave with who is running his company. Dude, I know, bro. And for the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. Damn, that was a really good Real Fake Wizard, y'all. If y'all know the Real Fake Wizard, who I am pretty damn sure, you guys, that the Real Fake Wizard is just Matt Walsh in a fucking wizard costume. Tell me I'm wrong. You guys, this is, just so you guys know, this is a chat and squirrel cast. All right, so here's Matt Walsh. Let's look at Matt Walsh. You guys know Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh, right? Not the actor, Matt Walsh, the commentator, right? So you guys know Matt Walsh, right? Matt Walsh. Tell me that that's not Matt Walsh. That Matt Walsh isn't the real life fake wizard in a wizard costume. Tell me, you know what? I'll even pull him up on YouTube so you guys can see. Let's go even deeper. I am pretty sure that these are the same guys. You guys know Matt Walsh already, right? I don't need to explain to y'all who Matt Walsh is, right? Women are welcome for sure, but no needed for us to discuss men's sport. Exactly, dude. Why y'all talking about Takis? I'm good on blue chips. Ha! Nice, Rick. What's up, Rick? Ha! Nicely done, dude. Yeah, it's a squirrel cast like a motherfucker, dude. All right, Joe. Tell me that the real life fake wizard is not Matt Walsh in a wizard costume.
Hello, I'm the real life fake wizard. Something has gone wrong with the stories coming out of Hollywood. Obviously, that's not like breaking news, but after the last week or so, I have a better idea of how to diagnose where things are actually going wrong. And more particularly, we find it in the controversial battlefield of, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which opened on April 1st, 2026 to 3...
Bro, I'm telling you, that's Matt Walsh in a wizard costume. So underappreciated and struggling. Why don't female commentators cover that instead of the NFL? Yeah, no shit, dude. No shit. Walt Disney has had those Epstein tunnels under the whole park. Even Joe Rogan wouldn't say what he saw down there. Yeah, also... So fun, dude, yo, I can speak very, very, like, not only can I speak very little because of what I was exposed to, but legally, I can speak very little about it. So my sophomore year of high school, yeah, all right. So now, yes, I played sports, right? I was a, I ended up having, I was a 2 sport letters, 3 letters total because one of my letters was in marching band. That's right. Your boy was in marching band. And our sophomore year, we went down to Disney World and performed at a nighttime parade. And to do so, we had to go behind the scenes. Yo, legit, even as high schoolers, the Walt Disney Corporation made all of us sign legit NDAs that you won't talk about what you see behind the scenes of Disney. Like, it is, they are very protective about what, like, very fucking protective. Like, if you notice, you'll never see any garbage around Disney. They don't, because it's all done behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It's wild, bro. They should force feminists to buy season tickets to the WNBA. Dude, yeah, bro. And the WNBA should be able to stand on their own. You know what I'm saying? They should be able to stand on their own and not need to be subsidized by the NBA. So real quickly, guys, funny little story here. Luther Davis, a national champion with the Alabama Crimson Tide, is said to have worn wigs and makeup to secure fraudulent loans. He was a member of the Alabama team that won the 2010 national championship game, along with a partner, J.C. Evans, quote, obtained at least 13 fraudulent loans totaling more than $19.845 million. The criminal information filings allege a criminal informant documented is filed by a U.S. attorney when a defendant agrees to waive constitutional rights to indictment by a grand jury and instead proceed by typically entering a guilty plea. Both Davis and Evans are doing so according to court dockets. The CI filing does not blah 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 list all 13 loans, but there are only 3 totaling 11.6 with the initials of NFL players who allegedly impersonated. The U.S. Prosecutor's Office in the Northern District of Georgia declined to comment. So of the $20 million, they did 13 total loans, got almost $20 million. 3 of them, they impersonated NFL players and got over half of it. $11 million by impersonating NFL players. Who did they impersonate? Davis and Evans impersonated a player that the CI documented identified by his initials, DN, in securing a $4 million loan from Alia Sports, a fund that lends to athletes. That player is former Cleveland Browns tight end, David Njoku. What a fucking random... Not only did you pick like an incredibly just random player, David Njoku, but you picked a player who's like, not only is the player random, but that random player is incredibly specific. Like the name David Njoku. Yeah, because the Njokus who live down the road. Oh, I was mistaking you for Mike Njoku. My bad. He lives down the road from me. It's like John Smith. A very, very, yeah. A second loan identified the CI from Aaliyah for $4.3 million as a player initialed as XM. That player is Green Bay's Xavier McKinney. Also, not the most bland name or player in the NFL. Wow. Crime doesn't pay. You're kind of dumb. The third loan incited a $3.3 million loan through All Pro Capital Funding, also arranged by Secure Sports, with the initials MP. That, of course, being Atlanta Falcons quarterback Michael Penix Jr. in the NFL impersonated in that case. The players are not connected in any way to the alleged scheme other than by having their identities stolen. Beginning in no later or around March 23 and continuing through about October 24, the defendant Luther Davis and C.J. Evans executed a scheme fraudulently obtained millions of dollars in loans from multiple lenders. Bro, I must be such a fucking poor. Why? Why'd you do it so many times? What the fuck, dude? What is... Dude, why'd you do it so many times in such a short window? I mean, you know what they say. Criminals aren't necessarily the smartest people on planet Earth. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Oh, my goodness gracious me, boys. Blue-haired freaks go to Disney. That is true, dude. That is 100% true. That is one tree. I live in Florida and can confirm. I went to Disney 20 years ago, and the place was kind of creepy then. Now I can't imagine how bad it is. Let's see. Actually, so yeah, the last time I was at Disney would have been my sophomore year of high school, so 22 years ago, because This year is my 20-year high school anniversary, or high school reunion, anniversary of being graduated. Yeah, back in the big '06. Your boy graduated high school back in the '06, and here we are in the big 26. Brent, I sing that song so much, dude, all the time. But the smartest people on earth are criminals. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are, and they have 70 IQs, and their heads are shaped like light bulbs. Mm-hmm. Island Adventure over Disney? No shit. Am I not mistaken that right now it kind of appears? Nah, look, guys, I am not like a theme park guy, dude. I am just telling you based on fucking looking at it from 10,000 miles away. But it appears that Universal's kind of crushing it over Disney right now, dude. Seems like Universal's kind of like really, really taking a stranglehold over the parks game down there in Florida. Am I mistaken in that? Am I mistaken, or is Universal just like absolutely crushing it, bro? Make sure you hit the share button, guys. Copy that link down on your clipboard and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to talk about the Detroit Lions now. That's what we guys are all here for in the back half of the show. NFL analyst advises Jahmyr Gibbs to hold out. Well, who could it be? We all know the stats behind Jahmyr Gibbs. We don't need to read all that. Blah, 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 blah. All first-round picks like Gibbs are eligible for a fifth-year option as part of their rookie contracts. That option for the Alabama product for the 2027 season could be worth as much as $14 million per over the cap. And I am such a poor. On Monday's episode of PFT Live, Pro Football Talks, Mike Florio, a guy that I do admittedly highly respect, Mike Florio, offered his thoughts on Gibbs' contract status, and that of fellow fourth-year running back Bijan Robinson. Robinson, coming off a career-best 1,400 rushing yard campaign, recently had his fifth-year option picked up by the Falcons. Robinson was drafted number 8 overall by the Falcons in 2023, while Gibbs was selected by the Lions, number 12 overall. That's right. A little trade back, and oh my God, what are we doing? We have DeAndre Swift. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, wait, we traded DeAndre Swift. All is well. I ain't showing up for the offseason program if I'm Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, do not enter the facility, Florio said. Do not pick up a weight. Do not put on a cleat. Do not do anything until your second contract. That's a no-brainer. I'm sorry, Falcons fans, Lions fans. You just went everything to be fine. Well, the sooner your organizations take care of these guys, then it will all be fine because they both deserve massive market-level paydays, and they should take zero risk with their health now or in the future until they get those contracts. I agree. The Lions are set to begin their offseason program 4/20 on Monday. Let's go. 4/20. Let's go. The deadline for teams to pick up the fifth-year option on their 2023 first-round picks is Friday, May 1st. Undoubtedly, the Lions have a big decision ahead on their hands regarding Gibbs. Blah, blah, blah. I think the Lions are doing the smart thing and doing what Brad Holmes always does. There is no need now. Now, with Bijan having that fifth-year option picked up, Detroit doesn't have to race the Falcons as much to market, right? So what we can do is we can really hammer out the finite details, really get a mutually beneficial contract in place for Jahmyr Gibbs so that we can do exactly what we did with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Penei Sewell and Jared Goff. Reset the market for about 2 weeks and then have somebody else have to pay way fucking more for a way less player. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do with Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, Bijan Robinson is a very talented running back. I'm not disputing that. But Jahmyr Gibbs is a lot better. And if I can get Jahmyr Gibbs for $3 to $6 million less per year over the next 4 years than Bijan Robinson, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that all day. How do we feel? How you guys doing, Mad Hatter Nation? Take cruises cheaper, no BS. Hell yeah. All parks are blue-haired. Oh, hell yeah, Rick. I like that. They're multi-billionaires who sucker us out of our hard-earned money. That's true, dude. That's true. All of them. Hell yeah. Everything blue-haired these days, and they want us to bow to their blue-haired overlords. Yeah, it's true, dude. But honestly, I don't know, man. I think woke is on its way out. Like, if you guys look at the number of college students identifying as transgendered now that they've stopped all of the transgender bullshit studies in college, it's fallen off. It was clearly a social indoctrination. And I think that the majority of Americans, even though you're seeing a rift in MAGA, blah, blah, blah. I think that right now the majority of Americans are willing to push back on conservatism because they're just done. They're not willing to give any credibility or light to the weird blue-haired fucking liberal nonsense bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, I think woke is done, dude. I really do. I think woke is done. And I honestly, look, I'm one of the guys, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm one of the few people who's over here like, I'm not concerned at all about the Iran conflict. In fact, I am, what is it? Game Theory 18 or whatever. I think Trump has won already. I think the United States has won civilization. We have a stranglehold on energy, and we have absolute control over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up, Riley? How you doing, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, dude. I missed the first week of football for that. Oh, I went to my freshman year after dropping my sis drop at Ole Miss volleyball 6-3. No shit. Hell yeah, what's up, Reffy? How you doing, man? Good to see you over there on Rumble, guys. We got 8 of you guys over there on Rumble, absolutely crushing it. Someone tell Roger Goodell that woke is over, please. Jack, I think look, and here's the thing, guys. We will still see for a little bit woke. Okay, you're still going to see it in media, okay? You're still going to see a little bit of it in media regardless. But what you're seeing is the last tail end of already invested money, right? That money's already been spent. That information, that commercial, that movie has already been filmed, edited. Too much money has already been invested that at least they'll recoup some of their money. They'll still take the L, but recoup some of your money. I think you're seeing a lot of the investment, especially with the purchasing of Paramount going, to a more conservative-minded individual. When you look at how, the market has really not allowed Bud Light, even though they pandered as hard as they possibly could in the Super Bowl, it's just not going to happen. But you're just seeing the last little vestments here of wokeism really just kind of peter out. But that's because that money's already been spent. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I would advise you not to go on a cruise, period, because I am scared of the ocean. Do you know that, what is it? If you go overboard on a cruise, first of all, they don't have to report people who go overboard on a cruise because you're in international waters. Second, they have a hard time proving whether it was suicide, murder, or accidental death. And third, if you go overboard, you have like a 25% survival rate if people notice within the first 2 minutes, and then it plummets to 7% after that. You're fucked. You're fucked. Reffy over on Rumble says, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want regular gay to be cool again. Yeah, dude, can't I've been saying that for years, dude. I'm like, can't gays just be regular gay? Can't we just have the regular gays like we had in the 90s and 2000s? Why does everything have to be over the top, dude? I don't want to see dudes in like kink gear prancing down the road. You know what I'm saying, bro? Just can't you just be like a normal gay? Why do you have to be so gay? All right, guys, so I'm going to refresh this to see if there's been changes, but we have a few names from the Lions' top 30. And you guys who've gone a little bit deeper into the prospects might know more about these cats, but I don't like one of them. I'm not too wild about Caleb Banks being on this, bro. Come on, get up here. All right, so here we go. Demarcus Lacey, wide receiver out of Marshall. Davion McCauley, wide receiver out of Michigan. Tyre West, a defensive lineman out of Tennessee. Caleb Banks, you guys know that. We've talked a lot about Caleb Banks. Defensive tackle out of Florida. Jay Hunt, defensive tackle from Cincinnati. Jimmy Rolder, a linebacker from Michigan. And Andre Fuller, a defensive back from Toledo. So far, those are the top 30 visits that the Lions have in for their pre-draft visits. Obviously, that window is closing by the minute. And not a lot of names. Biggest name that really jumps off is Caleb Banks, right? Had some injuries, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about Caleb Banks. I don't know, man. Are we sure you mean almond juice? That shit's terrible for you, dude. That nut milk stuff is terrible for you, bro. Beets are in the ocean per scripture, but if you have God on your side, you're good. That's true. Hey, that's true. Or beasts. I read it as beets. Blue hairs have a stranglehold over the public school system. Well, Tampa, that is true. And that's why I would advise people to get your kids out of the public school system. Also, we have, for whatever reason, and the public school system is actually a prime example of what we have, how the welfare system gets taken advantage of and normalized it. The public school system was never designed to be the primary source of education for young people in the school. It was supposed to be a last resort, state-funded, lower end for people who couldn't afford the higher, institutions for learning, your public schools, your homeschooling, that type of stuff. But over the years, just as we have with welfare and the welfare program, we have shifted it from being an assistant to being a cornerstone of people's existence. It was never supposed to be that way, and honestly, as a freedom-loving American, you should be skeptical of any institution that is organized and ran by the state, especially one that is organized, ran by the state that takes control of your children. We can go deeper into this if you wanted and say that it all started when Mr. McGillicuddy opened his widget factory and convinced women to leave the household, dilute the workforce, and dilute the dollar all so they can make a couple extra bucks, and the state went, oh, look at all that taxable revenue. Excellent, great. Hey, women, it's your right to go to work. You don't need to stay at home and have your man earn money for you and allow you to just, for lack of a better term, live more of a life of luxury and raise children. You want strangers to raise your children. Don't ask questions. Don't worry about what they're telling them to learn. We will tell them what and how to teach your children to learn. We will teach them what the actual history is. No. Don't be involved. Go to work. Make us money. Don't be involved. The more we can have control over your children's minds and teach them what, how, and where to think, the better. Trust me, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Caleb Banks is the real hurt foot guy in this draft. He is hurt foot Chris Jones. I thought it was Caleb Banks that you were saying kind of as a hurt Chris Jones comp. It's free daycare. There's not much teaching going on. 100%, dude. There's not much leering going on in the public school system. If I had a kid squad, make him record everything. Yeah, dude, for sure, bro. And that's where COVID really fucked with the school system, dude, was parents were actually able to see what the hell they were learning. I seen this video the other day of this guy. He was talking about how his daughter was struggling with math, and it's because the way that they teach kids to do maths now is super fucked up. So he taught his daughter how to do it the way he learned how, and she was like, oh, this makes sense, and then went to school and took a test, and the teacher failed the kid on how to do the test. And the dad looked at the test, and he's like, what the fuck? These answers are right. And the teacher's like, well, I said to show your work. And he's like, she did. She goes, well, no, I wanted them to do it the way that I teach them to do it. And it's like, well, one, they're my kid. Two, and most importantly, go fuck yourself with a pine cone. And three, you do know that there is more than one way to skin a cat, right? Here, let me show you. You know what I'm saying, bro? These fucking teachers, dude. And for whatever reason, now I get it, all teachers are underpaid. Well, okay, sure, yes. Then do better. Then do better. It take my application of higher wages for fast food employees and apply it to the fucking public school system, dude. Apply it to all educators. You want a higher wage? Sure, okay. I need better results. Well, the parents, okay, then we can address that. I can address that. Feed them. Keep the dad in the household. Don't have kids out of wedlock. Pretty fucking simple. Keep your dick in your pants. Only do a little bit of recreational drugs. If you have to stick a needle in your body, stay the fuck away from it. It's pretty goddamn stupid. They teach more about Caesar than Jesus in class. That's true, bro. That is true. Take the majority of children out of school would force them to adjust. That's 100%. But his hurt foot while returning from hurting his foot. Yeah, I was pretty sure Caleb Banks had multiple foot injuries. And teachers are honestly just puppets pushing what the higher ups give them and correct. Dude, it's true, bro. But the teachers, dude. So I know that. I'm gonna be honest though, Brandy. I don't really understand what Common Core math is, but I have been told that the way that I was always really bad at math. Like growing up, I was terrible at math, like absolutely awful. And it wasn't until I started getting into trade work that I had to get really good at math. And for me, applying some aspects of Common Core math allowed me to understand math a little bit better and easier. But but I don't understand like how they do it. You know what I mean? Like to a point, it helps me, but it's not the way you should do it. You know what I mean? Teachers these days lean PDF. Yeah, dude, they 100% do. 100% they do, bro. Dude, they for real. You ain't even wrong, dude. You ain't even wrong, bro. All right, let's go ahead and look at what the Slipper has for us here at the mailbag, you guys. And, I follow the Slipper on Twitter. I've seen people submitting their questions. What's your nightmare scenario for the Lions on the first night of the draft next week? Raw, you're going to want to go ahead and plug your ears to this, okay? Public school teacher for 5 years, no learning, just daycare. I tried my best, couldn't stand it anymore. That's hell yeah, Reffy, dude. That's what's up, bro. He's got some insider information. Teachers are underpaid. Leavenworth, Kansas, $48K for a new teacher. KC is like $60K. That low pay talking is BS. Damn, bro. $60K, and damn, that's not bad. That's not bad, dude. You know what I'm saying? That ain't bad, dude. I mean, that ain't too bad, you know. Not the best, but Raw, you're not gonna want to hear this, dude. This is gonna hurt you. This is gonna hurt you, dude. The nightmare scenario is it doesn't get any scarier. Jeez, come on, why? It doesn't get any scarier than the Lions seeing Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq sitting there at 17 and going by their true best player available and taking him. I mean, he would be one of the best players available at that time, but the Lions do not need a tight end right now, even if he is a really good one. I have no problem with the Lions taking a corner, safety, interior offensive lineman. If the Lions walk out with Penn State guard Vega Leon, or is it Leon or Ione? That would be ultimately better, the best move for them. I agree. I like the Vega signing. But yep, so nightmare scenario is taking your boy Kenyon Sadiq. When I was skimming this dude, I was like, man, taking a tight end. And then he said tight end, and I was like, oh, Raw's going to be pissed. That was funny. I don't hate Sadiq in the first. I think he's a good elite talent. That's fair, man. And I get it, dude. I get it. Like he says, if the Lions stick with their best player available, Lions pre-draft visit has Max and Proctor as the OT visitors. Hell yeah, dude. That's what's up, dude. That's what's up. Kenyon Sadiq is fast. I mean, that's good. So is Tyler Conklin. Just kidding. All right, the next question we got. As much as I would like to trade down, this draft looks like a buyer's market. Supposing we find value in trading up, who is our target and what's the cost? I don't see the Lions moving up far enough to get a shot at David Bailey. How come every time I go to highlight this, it rolls up? See, look at that. Look at. Every time I go to highlight, it rolls. Now it's not. Would I have to just like robotically move my hand? I don't see them Lions moving up for a shot at David Bailey or Arvil Reese. They don't really have the capital to move up to the top 5. I mean, they do, but it would be a lot. And you're linking your job to this guy being elite. I could see them maybe moving up between 6 and 16 for a shot at Bain, Mansour Delane, Vega, Spencer Fano, or Francis Maioga. Doing so would require the Lions to give up that 17th, the 50th, and something next year. That is if they move up to the highest point. Final question here we got is, it seems they're not doing hardly any top 30 visits. Any reason? They're doing them, but the Lions have been super quiet about everything this year. They're Fort Knox on everything to the point where players aren't talking about whether or not they've met with the Lions, and their agents aren't either. They're playing it as close to the chest. I've honestly not seen anything like it since I started covering the team. This may be the new normal moving forward. What the fuck? What the hell was playing? That was weird. Get out of here, Lexus. Nobody wants a Lexus. Today's press conference got me thinking, talking about the one, Monday? How much of what Holmes is saying is smoke? I'd be interested to see prior year's comments and what he actually did in the draft and how it aligns. Not nearly as much as you might think. Holmes is being straight up with you. They are a best player available team, and if they are not moving on, if they are not moving off of that, this, of course, means that they may not draft some of the positions that are perceived as a need at all unless the best player available also fits that need. So if you're thinking he's saying, we're not going to draft an edge to fool another team, that is not what's happening. He means it. If they don't like any of the edge rushers, they're not taking an edge rusher this year. It's simple as that. Basically, stop overcomplicating it. Just listen to what he's saying. He's telling you what we're going to do. That's why I got so irritated with the stupid reporter questions. I'm like, just ask the man straight up, what do you think of this player? And he'll tell you whether he can or not. You know what I'm saying? If we draft Sadiq, that tells me a lot about Laporta's back situation. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, Tampa, if we draft Sadiq, that is a definite indicator. Are not public information. Most teams cover up who they bring in. Hell yeah, Brent, that's what's up. Anyone know Enrique Cruz Jr., offensive tackle out of Kansas? Well, you know what, dude? We got 5 minutes here on the show to give it to you guys. What did we say his name was? Enrique Cruz Jr.? This guy? KSU? Or just KU? This is KU. He's just a Jayhawk. My bad. Oh, my bad. What if we trade out of the first round entirely? Oh, shit. You know, Reffy, to be honest with you, man, I don't know why we don't entertain that. Y'all, Reffy's got a good comment over on Rumble. What if we just trade out of the first round entirely? Why not? Pick up a next year first round, an early second round this year, maybe even a third this year. Say we get to 17, there's just nobody we like. And the only people that are willing to dance are, like, say, picks 35, right? How do we feel about that, dude? How do we feel about that? That's something I haven't really thought about. 33 and 44, we win the trade by a third-round pick in value. See, yeah, Brent, that's what I'm saying, dude. If we get down to 17 and there's just, like, no clear-cut guy, and you can grab the 33 and the 44, I'd like to get another pick in there, but 33 and 44 is not bad, man. Also, their contracts are a little bit more palatable. You lose that fifth-year option, but the overall salary. And, yeah, man, 33, you're still getting a first-round player, right? 30, you go from 17, you pick up 33, so we're going 33, 44, and 50. Okay, so you can get all the players that you want. You know what I'm saying? We can get all of it makes these non-blue chip players way more palatable, does it not? Does it not make it more palatable to take on a Balake Miller, Jacob Rodriguez? I don't know, man. I don't see Mesdor falling out of the first round, but you know what I'm saying? These guys, these kind of question mark guys, you know, does that not make it a little bit more palatable then if you're not burning a first rounder and you get all this draft capital? You know, Reffy, dude, this is a really good question you just posed, man. I haven't thought about this. Is this year? Oh, no. All right, Tampa says no future picks. You want this year picks? Okay, is worth more than the 17th pick if you ask. I agree. I agree with that, dude. I think the 33 and 44. I would like some more, but that's because I'm greedy. You know. Yeah, exactly, Jack. I think you do actually are able to crush it and get 3 starters at 33, 44, and 33, 44, and 50. I actually kind of like that. Yeah, Brent, and that's the 27 draft. So let me ask you this. Say we were able to get 33 or 44 and next year's first round. I think that would be more ideal long term, but if you're looking to acquire a talent to win right now, obviously I think 33, 44 along with the 50 goes better than, say, the 33 or the 44, 50, and next year's first round. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? We don't make the playoffs again and this whole thing falls apart. There you go. Okay, Tampa. I see what you're saying. 8 first-round QBs next year, plus better edge, wide receiver, and offensive tackle prospects. Brent, are you alluding that we need to move on from JG16 for MVP? Are you just saying that next year's draft has more availability, more people are going to want to be clamoring to move up for your spot to get, like, say, a quarterback? You know what I mean? There's more dancing partners. Thinks the team is built to last? Fair enough. I do think Tampa is right to a degree. If we miss the playoffs again, and I don't subscribe to this thought process, but I understand where he's coming from. If the Lions miss the playoffs again next year, this whole thing falls apart. Bro, like, I get where he's coming from if you look at the way that Lions fans are treating this last year. I mean, my God, people are calling for Dan and Brad to be fired after this last season. Like, for real? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if we don't make the playoffs this year, there's going to be even more people that are going to be, louder about how they don't know ball and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? We don't make the playoffs. Brad won't be picking in 2027. Maybe. I don't know, man. I think Sheila might give him a little bit more rope considering all the work that he had to do to get the team to where it's at now. But I don't know. We haven't seen how Sheila operates. So we're kind of like to that point of the top brass of the organization and what kind of timeline or how much rope they're willing to give him. We have no idea because this is uncharted waters with Sheila as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't see Dan losing the team, dude. I don't think we miss the playoffs again, but the team isn't old and falling apart. Yeah, I don't think we're old, and I really don't think we missed the playoffs. We have last year, guys, we've talked about, the injuries, the length of time the players are playing, the short turnarounds on games, playing on every holiday. We were still a plus 500 team. This year lends itself to even more availability to really plow our way to the playoffs with being finishing fourth last year in the division gives us the easiest schedule in the division. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit of a boon. I think we'll bounce back this year quite well. I think this year, I really think that last year, we were a little too high on our own farts, dude. I think this year we come out and really just punch people right in the fucking mouth. I'm not even close to getting fired. Retarded fake fans, Yeah, I don't know, man. I do agree. I do think Brad is a great GM. I really understand. I see where Tampa's coming from, though, dude, man. I do. I don't know which one of them would be safer than the other, Dan or Brad, but there is an awful lot of people who just do not like Brad Holmes, man. They just do not like Brad Holmes, and he gets I don't think it's just. I think if you look at his numbers, he's actually a really good acquirer of talent through the draft. He doesn't do the big splashy, sexy things, and people don't. I think a lot of people get upset with Brad Holmes for trying to play 4D chess, trying to play too many steps down the road, and they get irritated because they don't see the initial, why didn't we get Max Crosby? Well, I wanted Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I get that you want Max Crosby. We all want Max Crosby. It's a fun story. But are you willing to have a flashy headline to overpay for a player that cripples your team financially from winning for the next 10 years? Right, exactly. Howie's pace in Detroit versus Philly. Yeah, actually, you know what, dude? That is one thing. So just real quick, I'll pull this up. Check this out. Whoops. I just want to show you guys something. I retweeted this. Check this out. NFL teams have drafted multiple first-team All-Pros over the last 5 years. Let's start down at the bottom. The Texans with 2. Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley. The Chiefs, the mighty Chiefs, with Creed Humphrey and Trent McDuffie. The Ravens, Jordan Stout and Kyle Hamilton. The Cowboys, Micah Parsons, who isn't even on the team anymore, and Deron Bland, who is he even on the team anymore? The Eagles, Howie Roseman and the legendary Eagles. Oh, Howie Roseman, he's the gold standard of GMs, right? Well, he's only drafted Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. The Broncos, though, coming in heavy with 3, Quinn Meinherz, Patrick Surtain II, and Marvin Mims Jr. Okay, three multiple first-team All-Pros in 5 years through the draft is pretty talented. Oh, what's this? What's this? The Detroit Lions, over the last 5 years, have drafted 4 multiple first-team All-Pro players? Huh. Multiple first-team All-Pro players drafted in the last 5 years. The Lions have 4. What's this? The Eagles only have 2? Huh. Interesting. That's interesting. I agree, Mom. If they train right, the injuries will be less. It's hard to figure out Brad for sure, but we don't know what's up behind the scenes. If he blows this draft, his seat will be hot for sure, though. I just know that I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, I'm curious where this narrative and thought is on Brad Holmes can't draft. If he blows this draft, if he blows this draft, what drafts has he blown? I'm curious. Oh, no shit. How he didn't win a playoff game in his first 5 years. No shit. Damn. How he sucked his first 5 years. 2024 draft was bad. Because TA and Rakestraw. Who'd we take that draft? TA, Rakestraw. I'll give you Rakestraw. Whoops. TA, Rakestraw, Manu, Vaki, Wingu, Mahogany. Well, Mahogany turned out okay. Vaki, I think, is playing the role of exactly the player we drafted him to be. Manu, I'm not giving up on Manu. I'll still give him a little bit of benefit. Wingu, yeah, all right, that's fair. TA, I think TA is actually good, man. I really do. And Rakestraw, I don't know if you can hold injuries against Rakestraw at all. He did have a first-round grade, if you remember. I'm not willing to give up on TA yet, guys. I'm not willing to give up on TA. Okay. But even if you are to say that the 2024 draft was bad, that's still 1 year out of 5. So 1 out of every 4, one versus 4, right? Now, if you get into the individual draft picks, it's like, okay, well, we traded up to get Broderick Martin. Yep, that was dumb. Okay, well, you don't win them all. Josh Paschal. Yep, sucked. I'll give you that. You know what I mean? That's fair. You know, I don't know. Okay, yeah. Compared to other years, okay, I'll give you that. Tampa, I'll give you that. I'll give you that for sure. That's fair. I thought you were saying that this class that he just had a bad draft. I'll give you that. That compared to other drafts, it was not good. And that is entirely fair. That is a fair and right assessment. Compared to, that's a fair conversation. So what we're comparing to is greatness. If everything compared to greatness isn't as good, doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that it's average. The next to greatness isn't bad. The next step down would be average, right? I just showed you that Brad Holmes has drafted more multiple first-team All-Pros in the last 5 years than any other team in football, right? And the GM who he gets compared to the most, Howie Roseman, has had longer time in the seat, and Brad has drafted double the number of players in a shorter window that have had multiple first-team All-Pros. You know what I'm saying? So, but I will give you that. Compared to, I will give you that. But I think that speaks to how well he's actually done in the draft process, right? Aiden Hutchinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch. You know, is it not fair to? Okay, I'll give you Colby Sorsdahl was a bag of shit, right? But is it not fair to give some grace when you have all of this leverage and ground to stand on that says it has worked out more times than not? All right, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. The NFL, good is the enemy of great. That's fair. I'll give you that. Okay. Yeah, all right, dude. Yeah, okay. Hey, fair. That's fair. Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm going to draft when he was on the Hall of Fame pace. Doesn't make a dent in his stature. He still has a hit on more 50% than his Hall of Fame pace. There you go, dude. But blowing it would be missing a few picks, like getting Proctor, and he turns into... Okay, that's... Okay. So, yeah, the 2023 draft skyrocketed our expectations. And Rick, to your and Brent's point there, I think what we're running into with everyone saying, "Oh, last year the Lions were bad. The Lions were bad. We have to fire Brad Holmes. The Lions were bad. The offensive line was bad." Well, when you actually look at the numbers, we weren't as good as we were the historic year prior. That's why it was historic. Like you said, compared to other drafts, 24 wasn't a great draft. Right, because compared to a historic pace of draft picks, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were just on such a roll, and it's like, hey, man, the good times ain't never going to end, right? We got to do this boomer mentality. Well, then reality kicked us in the dick. You know? That's why I kept saying, guys, that like, oh, the Lions were bad. We had a down year. We finished above 500. Do you guys not remember what it was like in the aughts? Do you not remember what it was like in the teens? Do you not remember where you came from? Look around, boys. This is the golden era. I wish someone would tell you you're in the good times when you're actually in them. Bitch, we're in the good times. It ain't never been a better time to be a Lions fan than it has been for the last half fucking decade. It ain't never been better. So people need to get off this hate wagon and realize that Brad Holmes is the best GM we've ever had. Okay, Matt Millen. Come on now. Come on, guys. Matt Millen. Nah, I don't need Drew Brees. I got Joey Harrington. You know what I'm saying? I understand that the character and the way that Brad Holmes conducts himself is very off-putting. He wears a shirt that says villains for a reason. Teams won't trade with us for a reason. I understand. I give you that, and I completely understand. Brad Holmes, yep, thinks he's the smartest man in the room. He does. It's off-putting. But that doesn't take away from the actual facts. You know what I mean? The data is in front of us. 2023 was a Hall of Fame level draft. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Remember 0-16? Exactly, dude. Exactly. There you go, Jack. Guys, 0-16. Our goal used to be, I say it almost every single draft now. Since Brad Holmes has been the GM of the Detroit Lions, I bitch. I sit there and I bitch about how long I got to wait for the Lions to get their pick. Because, like Jack said, we used to beg that the Lions would finish with an outside the top 10 pick. It used to be us and the Brown Eyes, dude. And here we are. Oh, it was a down year. Yep, it was a down year. Well, we finished 17 with a plus 500 record. And nobody likes us. Teams design their teams. Organizations build their teams to go toe-to-toe with the Detroit Lions. We are the standard, and if you can't see that the Detroit Lions are the standard of the NFL, that Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have revolutionized how teams approach football, if you can't see that, I can't help you. Toughest schedule, dealing with some shitty ref games, lost some tough ones too, act like we sucked as fucking retarded. And we have soft schedule that Brent, or 100% dude, 100% dude. Everything that's what I can entertain thought exercises to an extent with you guys, but after a while, it's just like, come on, you guys. You're in this downward spiral that is fueled by bullshit. It's not fat. Everyone's freaking out over nothing. Quit making mountains out of fucking molehills. A down year is not the end of the world, okay? Look at the stock market. Stock market goes up, stock market goes down. Things go up, things go down. As long as they don't bottom out. Are we in the top 10? No. Are we in the top 5? No. Were we still in contention for a playoff spot, even though we had a bad team? Bad team. Yeah. Oh, we weren't as good as we were the year prior when we had a historically good offense. Come on, man. 100% see us also trading completely out of the first round this year. 8-12 tier 1 player. Raw, I appreciate it. Damn, Raw, you making me feel all pretty today, bud. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't thought about trading out of the first round until shout out Reffy over on Rumble. Dropped it in the Rumble chat. What if we trade out of the first round entirely? Why does that seem like the best possible option? To your guys' point, we get 3 starters. If we trade out and get 33, 44, and 50, or stay at 50 and get 33 and 44, that answers all the questions. Let the chips fall. You're letting the board fall, but you're still in the driver's seat. Does that make sense? You're not having to force the decision. You're letting the decision come to you. Whittle down the bullshit. I like this idea. Brad does need to draft more successful cornerback out at the gates. Safety is great. Cornerbacks have been a struggle so far. Jack, yes and no. I think that Kirby was ascending the back half of his rookie year, and then last year was just a big shitstorm, dude. Or not Kirby. Tarian. I'm sorry, Tarian Arnold. I think TA is good. And I really think that Enos Rakestraw is about to have a fucking awesome story for the Detroit Lions, guys. Does it not? Does Enos Rakestraw's story not kind of line up perfectly with about to have a great just breakout year this year, dude? 6 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? The Debbie Downers are addicted to their loser biochemistry. Depression is biochemistry addiction. They can't let go. Hey, by the way, Brent, yeah, you mentioned biochemistry. All right, so I have started, and I'm like 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 4 days into taking it. I'm not expecting to notice anything until about the second week. But I have started taking a mushroom supplement that has lion's mane and reishi in it. I could not remember the other one. Something with an A. There was something else with an A, right? And the reason I started taking a capsule supplement is I didn't want to be drinking another, like I didn't want to have to be pissing all morning long. You know what I mean? With like a coffee. So I'm getting lion's mane and reishi, and I could not remember the other one. But I was looking for that. Enos made of straw will have 3 iffy C's and then disappeared. Hey man, nothing wrong with that. Is it ashwagandha? What's crazy, dude, is if you could see this on my screen, the chat translated ashwagandha to "Are you angry?" Breaks like a straw, 100%. So is it ashwagandha? Is that the one you were talking about, dude? And the reason that I ask about ashwagandha, was the supplements I seen it with were like it was for like to assist in sleep. Am I correct in that? Because then I don't want to take it in the morning. I would want to take it at night, right? You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure because we were talking about this shit. Ashwagandha tastes like dirt. Great. There was something, but I could look it up. The supplement I'm taking, it's got 10 mushroom supplements in it. And two of them, one of them's lion's mane and the other one is reishi. I wanted to make sure that those two were in it. But I couldn't remember the other one. I could not remember the other one. But yeah, we're trying that mushroom shit, dude. Trying that out, dude. Trying seeing if there's anything to that, dude. So I couldn't remember the last one, but I do appreciate it. Guys, we ended up going long again. Better get used to it. Next week, we're going to go long, you guys. So it's Wednesday. I got to get through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday at 11:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there is going to be a hat and beard shaped cloud of dust running out cartoonishly pew, out the door, because then I'll be on vacation. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh. Then we'll be on vacation, and I'm planning on next week, guys. We're probably going to be doing a mock draft every single day next week. I ain't even going to front, guys. I ain't even going to front. And then we're going to be doing the Thursday show. So just hopefully you guys are buckled up, dude. You got a lot of hat and beard coming your way the next week here, dude. So buckle up, Buttercup, you guys. Shout out Charlie Sheen. I drink tiger blood, dude. I think that all the time, like fucking tiger blood. I've got tiger blood in my vein. Winning. Okay, so ashwagandha, it helps with sleep test, antiviral tumor, tiger penis for the win, or loss if you're the tiger. See, that's why I like you guys. I appreciate you guys being friendly with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like you guys in Mad Hatter Nation. We can get kind of tested and a little heated with one another, but at the end of the day, we're all good, dude. You know what I'm saying? I just don't cut off penises. Well, good, dude. I'm glad you don't, because then you'd be a lib fucktard, dude, and we wouldn't have room for you over here. So what I'd want to take the ashwagandha at night, then, is what you're saying. So like take the ashwagandha with I take cherry extract at night to help sleep. So just pop that, get some good sleep. Well, see, I booty bump all my meds. I'm just kidding. That's fucking weird. First time I learned about that, I was like, what the fuck? And then I swear to God, like a week after I learned what booty bumping was, South Park had the episode where they were shoving fucking food up there. They're eating food with their asshole and pooping out of their mouths. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the world, man? What is going on? Like, what are they doing to us? Okay, so don't put it in coffee. Well, if it helps me sleep, I'm not gonna take it till at night, then, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about y'all. Not too wild about the taste of dirt. Doesn't really move the needle for me. Not a big fan of the dirt flavor profile. Never been wild about that. I don't remember ever eating too many mud pies when I was a kid, and normally I was putting other people in the dirt. I wasn't normally going and taking a dirt nap. You know what I'm saying? Or dropping to the dirt or hitting the floor or whatever. I don't fucking know. Wouldn't have liked my ex then. Well, that's why she's your ex, buddy. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I've been Hat and Beard. You've been attentive audience. Make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified when we go live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Until then, have a good rest of your day. Banga banga. Frig off.